rocket launcher. I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant nigga. With my man S.God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called The Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rushing, please. Remain calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S.God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S.God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good, Giants Nation? Salute, Giants Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Man-Cave podcast. And I'm your host, S.God from the Man-Cave. Thanks for joining and tuning in. On this episode, we're going to talk about the New York Giants free agency, free agent talk, the big trade with Brian Burns coming to the New York Giants, also the departure of Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney in free agency. You know, it is what it is, but, you know, anyway, before we get started, if this is your first time to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also share it and also hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss an episode. And without further ado, man, let's get into it, man. So, of course, you know, free agency kicked off yesterday. 2024 NFL free agency kicked off. And as usual, I mean, you know, Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney, you know, a lot of people thought like probably one of them would come back or one, you know, so probably both, depending on how the market was out there. But hey, man, the Giants told them, hey, go out there and find your what you call it, your contract fund to see, well, you know, see what the open market gonna do. And they went out there and they found their contract, man. You know what I'm saying? Xavier McKinney, you know what I'm saying, the safety for the Giants, played all games last year. You know what I'm saying? One of the top safeties in football, 24, 25 years old. You know, I wanted McKinney back, you know, but hey, that's the nature of the beast is free agency. So Xavier McKinney went out there. He found himself a deal. The Green Bay Packers got him on a 4-year, $68 million contract. Hey, I ain't mad at Xavier McKinney, $17 million a season. I mean, I don't know what the Giants was offering, you know, but I think they probably wanted to go like 14, 13, or 12 at the most. And he went out there and he bet on himself and he won. You know what I'm saying? But that's the nature of the beast in free agency. So, you know, it kind of hurt. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we got to look elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we lost a good young safety, which, you know, I thought we could build upon. He could be one of our, you know, cornerstones and stuff like that. But, you know, he's gone. So now we're just going to move on from him. You know, I wish him nothing but the best out there. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? So he's gone. So, but now on to Saquon Barkley. I know I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and also going to other content creators. And, you know, people have mixed emotions about it. But the main thing that everybody is mad about or saying is like, you know, he's like, he messed over the Giants, you know, saying he screwed the Giants over because he went to the hated rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, of any team, of all team, you know what I'm saying? He could have went anywhere else. You know, he could have went to the Texans. He could have went this other place and people would have been like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But man, you go within the division, you go to the division, the most hated rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And a lot of people felt like he betrayed us on that and stuff like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, hey, the Giants had a chance to sign him last year, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the contracts didn't work out. You know, he wanted a little bit more money. They didn't want to give it to him. So then they franchise tagged him. He came back this year, you know, had a great season. Not, you know, he was like about 900 something, close to 1,000 yards season, you know, with the turmoil and all the stuff, that injuries that we had and stuff like that. It was a bad season for the Giants. But through it all, you know, he still had like close to 1,000 yards. So, you know, coming back into this season, I thought it was going to be a deal where they could strike a deal with Saquon, for $12, million, $13 million, but uh, they didn't franchise tag him. They let him get out there in the open market to see what he can do, see what other offers he can get, and lo and behold, the Philadelphia Eagles, a hated rival, they swooped in. They signed him to a 3-year, $37 million contract with $26 million guarantee with incentives up to $46 million. So, I can't be mad at him. Like I said, the only thing, like I said, it is what it is. He bet on himself and he won. He ended up getting more money than the Giants offered him this year. But according to some people, they were saying that the money that the Philadelphia Eagles offered him that he took was about $2 million more than what the Giants gave last year, his first contract offer and stuff like that. So really, he could have signed that same offer with the Giants last year, but he refused it the first time. You know what I'm saying? So then the offer went down a little by little, and the offer went down. So, he bet on himself, and hey, so he's no longer New York Giants. He's with the Philadelphia Eagles now, hated rival. So we're gonna have to see him 2 times a year. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say I wish him the best, but it's like, yo, just not against us. You know what I'm saying? And I like Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the Giants should have kept him. They could have signed him and stuff like that. But then you got the other thoughts where people like you don't build your team, with the running back position as a premium. You only add that at the end when you build your team up and things like that. So the way a lot of people looked at it, like, hey, the Giants right now, we're not contender right now. The running back, I mean, we could use that money to add to other parts of our team because we got a lot of holes to fill on our team. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people wasn't feeling it. And, like Saquon Barkley, he was the heart and soul of our team. You know what I'm saying? Everything ran through number 26 and stuff like that. For 6 years he was here. All his blood, sweat, and tears, you know what I'm saying? He gave everything he had to the New York Giants. And, hey, man, I salute him. You know what I'm saying? I wish him nothing but the best. But like I said, he's no longer a New York Giant. He's now a Philadelphia Eagles. And it is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So we lost 2 of our young building blocks, you know what I'm saying, in free agency that I thought was going to come back, but they didn't. But that's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are going now. Like I said, Xavier McKinney, he's with the Green Bay Packers. So we may get to, we'll see him here and there and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But Saquon, he's going to be in our division for another 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see him twice a year and things like that. So that's something we're going to have to put up with. But hey, like I said, looking at the way the Giants free agency, how they handle it, at first when free agency started, like Giants fans, like, I was like, man, what's going on? I know a lot of Giants fans was like, yo, what's going on? It's like, yo, the Giants falling asleep behind the wheels. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else is making big moves, big deals, signing this person. And there was free agents that was linked to the Giants that we thought we were going to sign, but then when you look at some of the contracts, he was like, whoa. I know the salary cap went up by $30 million, but people's like, man, when you look at some of the contracts that was signed out by, like, Robert Hunt got a $100 million contract, a 5-year, $100 million contract by the Panthers. He's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of set the market and stuff like that. So I guess the Giants pivot to bringing lesser, free agents to cover more holes. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at what the Giants did in free agency, it looked like they're trying to go back to the old style of Giants football where they're going to build through the trenches. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line, the defensive line, and things like that. And they're also going to use the draft to, to build the team back up, the cheaper way to build the team back up. So if you look at some of the deals that they made, like I said, yeah, we didn't get the guys that we thought we was going to get, but I can't be mad at them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, the sign we got, we had holes at offensive line. We had holes at edge rusher. We had holes in the secondary, like cornerbacks, safety now, and things like that. And yeah, you're not going to build your team back up in one overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen overnight. You have to build it little by little. So if you look at some of the deals that we made, you know what I'm saying? It's like it covers some of the holes that we were thinking about going into free agency. Some of the holes that you wanted to cover before you go into the draft. So that way you know what you're going to get in the draft and what you're going to do and what you're going to need. So one of our first signings, was O-line. Our offensive line has been terrible for the last 12, 14 years, since Sean O'Hara and those guys are gone, Kareem McKenzie. So, man, that was like 14 years ago. So we're trying to build it up, and every GM has failed to build up this offensive line. So I know Dave Gettleman said he was going to build it, but it didn't happen that way. So now it's on to Joe Shane to take on this massive, to try to sign this and to trying to get this offensive line together. So, and everything starts at the offensive line, you know what I'm saying? As far as on the offensive side, if you don't have an offensive line that's going to block for the quarterback and open up holes for the running back and give the quarterback time to throw the ball, the offense is not going to be good. So it looked like we have to go back to the drawing board. So we got to go back and start with the offensive line. And like I said, in free agency, the first person one of the first guys that we signed was John Runyon. And we signed him to a 3-year, $30 million contract. Nothing big, you know what I'm saying? $10 million a season, smaller contract, you know what I'm saying? He's going to fill in one of the guards. I think he's going to play the right guard. He could play left too, both guard spot, but I think they're going to put him at right guard. So, that takes away because I'm coming into this offseason. We had question marks at both guard spot and at right tackle because we're set at left tackle with all-pro Andrew Thomas. And then also at center, we got the rookie John Michael Schmitz. He had an up and down year, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the Giants had an up and down year last year. So I really can't put that on him. So, he took his lumps. So, at least those two positions, like I said, those are the two that, that we kind of, like have a good idea and stuff like that. We're going, you know what I'm saying, see what happens. But the two guard spots and then Evan Neal at right tackle, you know what I'm saying? So those are three positions that we had to shore up. So, in free agency, we got John Runyon on the 3-year, $30 million deal, $10 million a season. You know what I'm saying? He played like right guard, left guard for the Green Bay Packers. He was one of the better offensive guards, you know what I'm saying, for, in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? And for the contract that we got him at, I'm good with that. Because really and truly, if you look at it, you really want like the offensive line to get an offensive lineman in free agency that's been in the NFL playing against, grown men strength, you know what I'm saying? The speed of the NFL compared to drafting young guys who you have to wait for them to develop and things like that, which you're going to have to too at that point. But if you can get like an offensive lineman through free agency, that way, you know what I'm saying? And then you get a draft offensive lineman in the draft, that's even better because then it gives that guy time to develop behind these guys and fill in for depth. So that should help. So, I mean, the John Runyon sign is like, it wasn't the prettiest, but hey, it will do. Like I said, 3 years, $30 million, $10 million a season. I can't complain about that. And then also, we also picked up Jermaine Illuminor, from the Las Vegas Raiders, who was coached by the new Giants offensive line coach, Carmen Brasillo. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they already know each other, things like that. So that should be a smooth transition. You know what I'm saying? So Jermaine Illuminor, he can play right tackle. He can play guards. I mean, he can play the guard spot. He's one of those versatile players. So that even helps even more too, in case, you know what I'm saying, that Evan Neal is still, you know what I'm saying, still not getting it. They could kick him into guard and put Illuminor outside on the right tackle, which would be much better. So at least the Giants got an insurance policy on that with Jermaine Illuminor. And the deal they got on him was like, man, it was like a 2-year, $14 million deal, which is great. You know what I'm saying? It's a small deal, another small deal, but it also helps a position of need that we desperately needed. So that was a good upgrade, like I said, because if Evan Neal come back and do the same thing, now we got a little insurance that we could kick him in the guard, play Illuminor there, and that should shore it up. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the long-term answer, but in the short term, that's good, So that was another move. And I kind of expected Jermaine Illuminor, to come over in free agency because of Carmen Brasillo, the new offensive line coach. So, that was like, and a lot of people have been predicting that anyway since free agency started, and everybody was saying like it wasn't going to take that much to get him over here. You know what I'm saying? So that was an area of need that we desperately needed. And then also, like I said, with these offensive linemen that we signed, it's also going to be great competition for these guys who's already on the team. Like your job is not granted. You're not going to be given a starting job just because, you're on the team. So now you're going to get some competition. So, and who knows? Maybe in training camp, Jermaine Illuminor he's going to beat out Evan Neal and be the starting right tackle. And Evan Neal's going to have to kick into guard, when the season starts, because I think with Evan Neal is like, I ain't going to say his last chance, but it's like, hey, if you can't do it at right tackle, they're going to kick you in the guard. And if you really can't get it at guard either, then I think you'll be on your way out the door. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, hopefully let's see what happens with this new offensive line coach, Carmen Brasillo. So, have faith in him. Like I said, he came from the Raiders, and the Raiders, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, the Raiders offensive line was one of the better offensive line in football, and a lot of their offensive linemen were not high draft picks, which is another great thing. You know what I'm saying? So, So that's a plus, you know what I'm saying? Is like they didn't have a lot of high draft picks, and he was able to work that in and make do with what he had and turn him into one of the better offensive line in football. You know, the Giants, we got some high premium offensive line picks with, you know, Andrew Thomas is the fourth pick in the first round. Uh Jermaine, I mean Evan Neal as the right tackle, you know, from Alabama. He was the seventh pick in the draft. And then you also have John Michael Schmitz, who was second round pick. You know what I'm saying? So those are high premium picks. So if we get a good offensive line coach, this Carmen Brasillo can come over here and work his magic and get these guys into shape and whip them into shape and get this line going, that'd be a bonus. That'd be a great plus for us, especially on the offensive side. You know what I'm saying? Because we need this offensive line to get right. I don't care. I don't care what we do. I don't care what quarterback we get here, what running back, what wide receiver we get. They're not going to operate if you do not have a potent offensive line and a stable offensive line. And that's another thing is continuity. We need these guys to really, you know, get some continuity, gel, get some chemistry, and also health wise, these guys got to try to stay on the field because that's another thing that wrecks our offensive line is injuries and stuff like that, and a lot of mixed matching and stuff like that that could have your season going sideways like it did last year. Because our offensive line was like the Achilles heel of our team last year that just really like broke everything down. You know, last year we led the NFL in sacks. Our offensive line gave up 85 sacks in the season. I think that's the record or is close to the record to the Houston Texans. But 85 sacks in a season is terrible. That's terrible. That's downright pitiful. So we gotta get better offensive line play, like I said, and also better offensive line coaching. Because last year, like I said, our coaches, for the most part, I think they underwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Last year they didn't do as good as I thought they were going to do, like the season before when they first came. So you know, so Jermaine Illuminor and also John Runyon, like I said, two signings that we kind of needed. You know what I'm saying, going into the draft. And like I said, free agency, that was the things we needed to hit. Offensive line, attack this offensive line. And then so as for Saquon Barkley, I guess for his replacement, the Giants are able to come to a contract agreement with Devin Singletary, running back from the Houston Texans. They got him on a 3-year, 19.5 million or 16.5 million contract. And I mean, he's a good back, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, he comes from the Buffalo Bills, you know, so Joe Shane and Brian Dable knows him from his days in Buffalo and stuff like that. So, you know, 5'7", 200-pound running back, you know, good running back. So I guess that's going to be Saquon Barkley's replacement for leaving, you know. And then the big trade last night, like I said, and I mean, we kept hearing whispers about the Giants and the Panthers making up a trade, striking a trade to get Brian Burns in here. You know what I'm saying? Because Brian Burns got franchise tag, but the Carolina Panthers did not want to go to a long-term contract agreement with them. I think he was trying to offer him like 24, 25 mil, but he wanted like 30 million, and that wasn't going to work with them. So they end up making a trade with the Giants, and, you know, it was a big blockbuster trade. Brian Burns come to the New York Football Giants, and only thing we gave up was a second-round pick, 2024 second-round pick, and a 2025 fifth-round pick. And the irony of those is that's the same deal that we gave up. That's the same trade that we got with the Seahawks for Leonard Williams. We got a second and a fifth-round pick. So really and truly, you know what I'm saying? So really and truly, we just gave up a second-round pick because the fifth-round pick is next year's, and the fifth-round pick is from the Seattle Seahawks next year. You know what I'm saying? So really, like it should, it's just a second-round pick. And the pick that we gave up was the 39th pick, which is like the first, you know, like the early picks and stuff like that. So, you know, hey, if you can get a second round pick for an established superstar, you know what I'm saying, an edge rusher like that, bro, that's big. That's big. You know what I'm saying? Well, I like that. You know, that was a great trade for us. So, you know, Brian Burns, welcome to the New York Football Giants. He can team up with Kayvon Thibodeau. They could be Batman and Robin on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So now we got an edge rusher, you know what I'm saying, that got some serious pressure. Because if you look at Brian Burns, in 80 career games in the NFL, he has 46 sacks, you know what I'm saying, in 4 or 5 seasons. So this guy's a beast, man. So that's a great thing. You know, we get somebody on the other side to rival Kayvon Thibodeau that can bring the pressure. And he was one of the leading pressures in the NFL. Like I think the only people who had more pressures than him was like Aaron Donald, you know. So, you know, to see a company that this guy brings, you know what I'm saying? and he's gonna get to pair him up with Dexter Lawrence too, another mammoth guy on the inside that can take on double team. So just to make this guy's jobs easier, or he might get double team and Dexter Lawrence could be in there, getting some lunch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with that. What's up, Demeet?
What up? What up?
Man, chill on this thing, man. How you feel about this free agency, man?
Well, listen, I up until losing Saquon, I think I was definitely in loss for words, and these Eagle fans is calling me up talking about how happy they are, but
Because you're in the Philadelphia area, so that's the worst for you.
yeah, yeah. No, that is not a likely thing that I wanted to hear, but that was a good pickup with the Burns thing. I think hopefully that helps on the defense, but like I said, it's still a quandary what we're going to do at the quarterback situation, and now it's just what are we doing in the backfield? You know what I mean? It's like, you know
Well,
what I mean? That's the only thing too that and something needs to be done if we're going to draft somebody or free
yeah,
agency.
but I think now the Giants probably gonna go to a running back by committee approach like most like the other NFL teams. But in order to do that, you gotta get your offensive line straight, and I think that's what they're trying to do with the offensive line and the defensive line. They're trying to build that way, and that's another thing. See, when you look at some of these things they doing, we got a lot of holes to fill. They starting to fill some of these holes up. You know what I'm saying? And then the draft is gonna cover up some other holes. But the thing about it is, with I know our secondary and our cornerback is like we got a lot of holes back there. But if you can get that offensive line great, because then if you got a stout offensive line, it can hide the deficiencies in the secondary until you can get some help, and that's what they're trying to do. Because both work hand in hand. The defensive front and the secondary work hand in hand. If you got a great defensive front, that means the quarterback don't have time to throw the ball too much, and the secondary is like, hey man, it's like you just go out there and make some plays. Now, when you get a great defensive line, and you get some more secondary help, then it makes the defense even that much more potent. You see what I'm saying? And I think the thing with Brian Burns adds is the pass rush, because you know how our pass rush been over the last couple of seasons.
Hmm.
We've been blitzing like a mug, but nobody's getting home. Kayvon been getting there a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? Now you got another guy who's a beast. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great thing for us, man. An established pass rusher, because the other side with Kayvon Thibodeau is Azeez Ojulari, and that guy. He's either hurt or he's not really producing at times, and we don't need that. We need somebody that's gonna get in there and get some pressure. And this guy gonna bring some pressure. And now another thing, what I was saying is like you got him, you got Tibbs. Now you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle. Now if you can get another defensive tackle inside that could build that brick wall and stop that run, bro, you got something. You see, now you got that real big defensive front, because Dexter Lawrence is already an All Pro, and this dude Brian Burns, he's a two-time Pro Bowler, so he's an All Pro too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but but that's all those things make sense. What you just said, I think, is where do you what do you put your energy into? Do you put it on that defense? Do you put it on that offense? That's what I said. Like,
but but
we,
but, but see, that's what you said.
where do you so for free agency? Do you go for more defensive free agency, or you use the draft to do more of that to try to plug those holes?
Wow.
It's a give and take what to do, because at this point you're running out of free agents, and you got just way too many holes to fill just to make that a solid front
But that, but
anyway.
that, that's what I'm saying. See, yeah, that's the thing with free agencies. Like, and that's a lot of people. Some people wait till like when free agencies start, because that's when the high price guys are gonna go. You know what I'm saying? That's where all the money's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But then people start waiting a little bit to see who's left out there, because just look at today. I mean, Derrick Henry, he went for a 2-year, $18 million deal. You see what I'm saying? He went
Hmm.
at see, that's what I'm saying. He went 2 year, 18, $9 million. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to wait some time to really plug in some more holes. And like I said, you look at us, we got the two offensive linemen. Those guys are gonna start. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna start. They ain't bring them here just to sit on the bench. They're gonna start.
Right.
I'm saying
Yeah,
so
but
that
why? So why doesn't the Giants? I mean, because to me, I think we need a bigger back for some reason.
no, no,
With
no.
these small backs that we're getting, I don't
No,
understand the whole purpose of that.
no, but the thing, like I said, it's going to be a running back by committee, because in the draft there are some big backs in the draft, like what's his name, Braylon. Braylon Trice from I think he's from Wisconsin, or I don't remember Wisconsin. Then you got like Estimine, used to be from Notre Dame. You got some of these backs, like these are big backs. You know what I'm saying? This draft got some good backs too, and some fast backs. So that's
Mm.
so that's
Yeah,
how they.
but are they available? Because we don't have a third round pick.
No, we do. No, we do. We do. We got a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth round pick. We got the pick. You know what I'm saying? We had 2 second round picks, but we had to give one of them up in the Brian Burns deal. So we still
Okay, I thought we lost that. Okay,
no no
okay, that's what I'm
no.
saying.
We still got
But
the
that's what I
picks.
said. So okay, so those dudes should be yeah. But that's it's just
Oh, no, no,
how they.
no, they're going to be available. Some of them guys are going to be available, and that's the thing too. Because even in the draft, though, when you're in the draft, sometimes we at the sixth pick. Let's say if the guy that we want and we think that he's going to fall like to 7 or 8, we can move back in the draft and get another second or third round pick. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do it to get
Mm,
more picks. To get more picks, and that way in the second and third round you can get more guys because the second and third round and the fourth round is when you get a lot of value, especially the second and third. You get a lot of value in those rounds, and if you can get them in the fourth and the fifth round, yo, because I look at some draft and guys I thought was going to go in the second round, they end up going into the fourth round. Because you look at last year, the draft, what's his name, the linebacker from Clemson that went to the Ravens, he went in the third round, like kind of like late. Simpson or something like that, if I can remember, or something like. But he was Trent Simpson. I think he was slated to go in the first round before the draft.
mm,
Everybody thought the first round. So this dude fell to the second. He fell to the third, and some of it could be because of medical. Some of it is because you know what I'm saying, like teams he might not be a 3 down back. I mean something like the linebacker or something like that. It all depends.
right.
So like I said, just because guys are slated somewhere to go, them guys fall. And there's another guard. Uh, I forgot his name. He was on Ohio State last year, offensive lineman. I thought he was gonna go in the third round. He ended up going in the fifth round. You know what I'm saying? So this draft is rich with offensive line and also wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing for us because that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at and
Mm.
then I know you ain't gonna like this, but I mean we you know who we signed for backup because we lost Tyrod Taylor. We lost him to the Jets, but we signed Drew Lock a 1 year, $5 million deal. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. But like I said, as far as the free
So
agency,
what? That's what I'm saying. What are we doing?
no, but
Really?
like I said, hey, it is what it is. You just
Yo,
gotta
that's
go.
some bullshit. Listen, that's just bold, man. The Giants is not being reactive to what it is that's going on around them. And you gave this dude what?
No, you only got a 1 year, $5 million deal. I mean, but like I said,
For
with some
what?
to be the backup, you know what I'm saying? Because you lost Tyrod, Tommy DeVito, yeah, he probably gonna be there, but he's gonna be a practice guy, you know what I'm saying? So you just gotta
Yeah,
just
but
gotta.
we couldn't sign Tyrod for that same amount of money.
I think Tyrod. No, I think Tyrod went to the Jets for 8 million. I think he went
Oh,
for
did
eight.
he?
Yeah, I think he went to the Jets for 8 million. So they wanted to be at a certain like money thing. So there's like, hey, what I'm saying, a little too rich for us because they had to get some of these other guys, and they probably gonna still get some other little guys too. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. They brought Tyrod over there to be a backup to.
Yeah, but see, Aaron Rodgers is coming off of ACL, so you know how that goes. So if he gets hurt or injured, then they can have a capable backup. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then they're going to trade Zach Wilson and stuff like that too. But
No,
like I
you
said,
mentioned I would think they would have just stuck with Zach on the basis that Zach do have the potential, and I think just to sit behind Aaron. But like you said, I don't know if they want to put him in the forefront just in case Aaron can't go right away or whatever the case may be.
hmm
For nobody believes in him. I mean, when the city don't believe in you, it's just there's no reason to put you in that position to fail again.
yeah,
Um, it's like is so. I mean, I guess Tyrod was a good pickup for him. I wish the Giants would have just kept him
yeah.
for the reasons that we could use him.
I thought he was coming back too. And then another thing, when you look at free agency, like so far in this free agency, like the guys that we signed, they haven't been like big contracts. So it's almost like offsets, like Saquon, because Saquon got a big contract, and Xavier McKinney got a big contract too. And
Mm,
the Brian Burns trade has nothing. It doesn't reflect on us because we didn't sign him in free agency. We made a trade for him, so his stuff don't count. I don't care. It don't count that we gave him a 5 year, $150 million contract for 87.5 guaranteed. So what that means
mm,
is what that means is the guys that left, their contract is bigger than the guys that we signed. So that means we're gonna get a compensatory pick next year. We're gonna get probably 2 third-round picks, for losing each of one of those guys. So that helps us in the draft for draft capital too next year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
okay.
I look at this as like, so it's like a trade-off. So you look at it like, and you build a team. Like I said, the best way to build a team is through the draft. The cheapest way to build it is through the draft to get the talent. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make some good picks, and that's what I'm saying. We got to make some great picks in this draft, the next draft, and also to build this team. Because by the time you look at it, we're going to get much better depth and much better talent. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, free agency is one avenue, but like I said, I mean, we only had like what 30, about 38, 40, let's say $40 million to spend. I mean, we could have restructured like Dexter Lawrence and those guys' contract, but maybe they didn't want to touch it right now, and maybe they open it for something else. But you know what I'm saying? But for right now, they're just trying to put up some holes as much as they can. Like I said, because the main thing we wanted to do in free agency was attack that offensive line and get an edge rusher. And I mean, the edge rusher part, that part is done. We good with that. I mean, we get some more in the draft or whatever, that's cool. Linebackers in the draft, that's good. But the O-line was the number one thing. Like I said, these two guys, like I said, they're gonna come in, they're gonna start. You know what I'm saying? Then you can pick some more linemen in the draft, in the fourth round, fifth round, they're gonna be there, you know what I'm saying? So those are guys you're gonna get developed. And also, like I said, the offensive line coach that we got from the Raiders, you know what I'm saying? He was a better offensive line coach than the one that we just let go. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the one we had, I mean, the guys on the offensive line, we picked them on high premium picks, and you saw how that looked, you know what I'm saying? But the guy from the, you know what I'm saying, he's been working with these guys, and these guys been like third, fourth, fifth round picks and stuff like that. And look at what he's done with those guys. So hopefully he can come here and do the same thing and coach these guys up. And like I said, the main thing with us is we need this continuity. With these guys, we need continuity. And also, these guys got to gel. And like I said, health. That's another thing. And like I said, health can derail your season. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you need depth. So you get some quality guys up front, and then if they go down, you got some backups that can really, like shore it up and keep it going. That's what you want. That's what you need. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's the main thing on our side. Looking at this, it looks like the Giants are going back to the drawing board. And like I said, I mean, people must say it's like it's a rebuild, but at the main thing, the way you look at it, the first year these guys came, we made the playoff, and everybody was surprised. So I guess they figured like, hey, let's try to keep it going. But they knew the team wasn't really fully, developed like that, and the talent level wasn't up. We got fooled last year. Everybody thought we was going to do something, and we end up tanking. You know what I'm saying? So now they're going back to, like, instead of signing these guys to these type money, let's build this team the right way. And even in the quarterback situation, Daniel Jones will come back and be the quarterback because you're paying him all this money for this season, so he's going to be the quarterback. But you have to look at it. They're trying to build a team and put these guys in places so that way by the next year, you have to, when Daniel Jones' contract is off the books because they could get out of it next year, the next quarterback, he will have a much better team in place than when Daniel Jones came. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you got to do. You got to strengthen the team and complete this team. And you look at it, the reason that they ain't paying Saquon like that, and listen, I love Saquon. Everybody feel about Saquon, but running back is like the premium. That's like the cherry on the top when your team is complete, and you can go do that. See how the Eagles can go do that? Because they got a complete team. They got the pieces. So the running back is the last piece. You know what I'm saying? With us, we only had the running back. We didn't have all the other pieces. So now we got to start putting the pieces together. And then at some point, if we can get that premium running back in a couple, then we do that. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? We have to build this line from the trenches, and that's what it starts from. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Get back in the trenches. Like the offensive line could be good and the defensive line could be real good. So that way, that's where you're going to win most of your battles in the NFL is in the trenches. You're gonna punish a team. Your offensive line going to punish a team on the offensive side, and then the defensive line come back and they can punish the other team's offensive line and get to the quarterback. That's what you want. That's what a battle is won. If you got a weak offensive line and a weak defensive line, you see what happens. You get pummeled. You know what I'm saying? You get manhandled. But if you got a physical offensive line and a physical defensive line that can stop the run and make a team one dimensional, that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? If we get, like I said, we get Dexter Lawrence. We already know what he could do. You know what I'm saying? We can put another defensive tackle in there with him to really shore that up and stop it. Yo, that's the making of something. You know what I'm saying? That's how your team starts developing and stuff like that. Plus, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have Dexter Lawrence here for the long. Brian Burns. Kayvon Thibodeau is developing. He's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So you want to do that now. The linebackers, got Bobby Okereke, and then in the draft you can pick up another linebacker and you can pick cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? That's how you start building it. The cornerback. You know what I'm saying? The edge rusher buys you a little more time, you know what I'm saying? Because if they could get there, then the quarterback can't have time to throw the ball. So, with that time, like I said, that's how you start building that secondary up. First, you build that line up, because if that defensive line is weak, it don't matter what cornerback you have back there, what linebacker you have, they're gonna get picked apart. You know what I'm saying? And what do we be saying when we be looking at the screen? Yo, get over there, get there. Why nobody can get to the quarterback? He got all day to throw the ball. You don't want that. You want a quarterback that you want a defensive line that's going to get in there and cause havoc and cause pressure and make that quarterback throw that ball faster than he wants to throw it, or take the sack, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? So basically, that's what they're doing. And you look at this free agency, the teams that came in with a lot of money, I'm surprised it was the Commanders and the Patriots had the most money to spend. I think the Bears, but the Commanders had like $82 million and the Patriots had $100 million. And neither one of those teams really went out and spent like that. You know what I'm saying? They kept some of their guys, but they didn't go make the big signings, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was surprised on that.
Yeah, but they're more in the rebuilding process as well. To me, more than the Giants.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But then in free agency, you go get those free agents, those free agents that's going to make a difference, and use the draft too, because you got a lot of draft capital. But that's what I'm saying. And you look at the team. We look at the Eagles. The Eagles, to me, they like the Lakers in the NBA. They have no capital, but they be making all these moves. You be like, where's this money coming from? I'm like, where's this money coming from? They signing this player, signing this player. But like I said, that's how it goes. It's like, the teams that are rebuilding, like, they try to rebuild and get their team complete, because you can't have, like, you know what I'm saying, like one side of the ball good, the other side of the ball not too good. But it's like, you got to build your team up, and you start from the inside out, because the inside out, you start from the inside, that's the trenches, and that's where the game is won in the trenches. It's not won like in the secondary and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's won in the trenches.
Right.
If you could beat up their offensive line, and then on the other side, your offensive line could beat up their defensive line, that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Like I said, we just have to see. I mean, I know it wasn't like the big splash free agency that we thought, because I thought we was going to get the tackle from the Patriots, Onwenu or something, Michael Onwenu and stuff like that. And he went for like, what did he went for? He staying with the Patriots for $57 million and stuff like that, which, I mean, we could have got him and stuff like that if they wanted him like that. But
if they went after anybody hard like that.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I think they had a plan and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With the money that they had, they didn't. Like I said, they really wanted to. They could have restructured those other contracts to open up more cap space, but they didn't. So, and then also, next year too, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about next year too. Like, if we get more draft picks, and then we can have a more cap space to spend to, we can get more people to add to next year. So you got to build this team up little by little. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Like everybody says, it's not gonna happen overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, I could see that vision that you're telling me. It's just a horrible pill to swallow when you look at pieces that, you know what I mean, certain things is being, you know what I mean, you certain players you just grow to like, and from the fact of the hard work they put in to help develop where you thought the team was going.
Of course.
It is what it is when you see some, like I said, it's not like I don't see Barkley hopefully doing big things for Philly, but I'd rather him shine on
Of course. I mean, a homegrown talent, you know what I'm saying? But even though he was born in the Bronx, I mean, he was raised in the PA area, so
yeah.
It's like a home thing for him. But like I said, a lot of Giants fans was just mad at him, because it's like, you went to the enemy, you know what I'm saying, and you betrayed the Giants. You talking about you want to be a Giant for life, and then all of a sudden it's like, the Eagles come swooping in, you take their money offer when the Giants gave you a closer. I mean, I didn't even know, but they gave him an offer like almost like the Eagles did. I mean, they were probably $2-3 million short the first contract they offered him, and he didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? But some of that is hearsay too. So
that was before this year though.
Yeah, that was last year when they came to
right. But they wasn't offering that shit again.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is but that's the contract they offered him last year. Why you didn't take it last year? You see what I'm saying? And then you take it this year. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the contract that he's looking at to get is a bigger upfront take. Number one, the Giants wasn't giving him that bigger upfront take.
I mean, the guaranteed money. I mean, because he got $26 million guaranteed. I think when the Giants were signing last year, I think it was like 21 or something.
I thought the $26 million was the signing bonus.
Yeah, the 26 million is like guaranteed. Like, yeah, to sign him on up front. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that you guaranteed that straight off the rip. Then the monies that he's getting paid therefore after is like the Giants wasn't offering no shit like that.
No,
The
not
Giants was
not this year, but that's just like when they came to him with the first offer, it was up there like that. You know what I'm saying? They kept coming back to him and they kept saying no. So the Giants kept going about well, they kept moving the offer down. It's like, hey man, at the end because you have to look at it though. This regime right here, like I said, they're all MO. People know they don't like to pay the running back position because they came from Buffalo. So when they offered him say a little bit more money, I was kind of surprised because I was like, yo, these guys don't really, they don't really value the running back position like that, but they trying to give him more money because he is a homegrown talent, but he didn't take the money. So this goes out of their element. That's what they're not known for giving running backs money, paying running backs because they're more about running back by committee. You know what I'm saying? Because in Buffalo, when they was in Buffalo, there wasn't no big time running back. It was running back by committee. You know,
Right.
like some teams are implementing now. So that's why I was surprised when they gave him that money. He said no. So I was like, oh wow. And then this year they just like, hey man, go out there and find your contract. And hey, like I said, he bet on himself. He won, man. It's like, hey man, I'm happy for him. He got the money. He's gone. Hey, like I said, we're gonna see him 2 times. We're gonna see him 2 times a year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see him 2 times a year. But that's why
that's not good. That's not a
that's
good thing to
that's
look
why you
forward
build
to.
that's why you build your trenches. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen. When you talk about you play him you look to see him 2 times a year. Really, do you really want to see him 2 times a year?
Yeah, you're gonna see him 2 times.
Because every time the Giants play him, he's going in with a bigger impact.
Yeah, but listen, but look at this. I mean, the Eagles took a lot. They took a hit on their offensive line too. Jason Kelsey was that's a big loss. That dude's one of the
No,
best.
I do under yeah.
The next center, I mean, he might be good, but he ain't gonna be like Jason Kelsey. So I mean, it ain't gonna be like that. I mean, they line was like one of the best, but that don't mean it's gonna be like that because as the years go on, you saw the Dallas line. Dallas line started getting lesser and lesser. You know what I'm saying? They had a great offensive line when Dak first got there. Now their line started going. Your line ain't gonna stay as strong all the time, you know what I'm saying? And players are not the same, you know what I'm saying? When you start losing like a key piece, it start weakening that part of the line. That's like us. If you lose Strahan and OC and then you fill them in with other people, like that ain't really gonna cut it, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't get that, you know what I'm saying, you lose that. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same players. Some guys have it, some guys are that they that type of player. They a beast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, hey, listen, it's gonna be good though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, well, you're gonna get a chance to see him in Philly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying when the Giants come to Philadelphia. So you're gonna walk
Dude, I know, man. It's just not a good. It's not a good feeling. Listen, it's what it is. But like I said, it's not a good thought to have thinking about going into the season. And like I said, more the power to his move. I just believe that if the Giants, like you said, with everything else that the Giants could prospectively do with him going, is out there. You know what I mean? But nah, you just looked at he was the foundation. He was like it was
on.
like, yo, you got building blocks, and he it was supposed to be between him, Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? You start building. He was that pick in the draft that we were saying you build around this guy like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like now all of a sudden we talking about nah, he's trash. Get out of here.
But at the end of the day, hey, but at the end of the day, hey, they made an offer to him, he didn't take it, and then
Nah, I got that, but that
but
you can't kick him, you can't give him the offer. Then okay, when he come back, like nah, I'm gonna kick you this now. You kind of insulted him with you give him like you said, you give him an offer like the Eagles in the beginning, then the second offer or when he came back to the table was
but
like nah, we got this.
yeah, but at the end of the day though, like the offer they gave him the first time, you know what I'm saying? That was last season. Then it's this season. He already played a season. Again, you can't give him the same offer because he don't put some more wear and tear on his body. You see what I'm saying? You can't come back with that same
That's
thing.
bullshit, ass. Come on, dude.
I know.
He battled and fought throughout the season.
Listen,
It's not like he shitted on the season and he was like, oh, I'm gonna just half-ass it just to still get my contract. That motherfucker was still full throttle.
I know, but like I said, but seeing sports and football is not like that. They go by the mileage on the running back. You know what I'm saying? The more mileage you put on your body, that's what they go by. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me and you can think like
Saquon is what, 27?
27 years old. Yeah.
So what mileage are we talking about?
we talking about the Mozzie, but that's another like 350 carries and stuff like that. They go by that carries like in the season, and also the wear and tear you take on your body and stuff like that. Another year. Like I said, they know these things. You know, they know these things. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's gonna play behind a better line, so I'm just like, yo, he's gonna do a little bit better. But you know what I'm saying? But
No, no,
that's me.
I believe that. I believe that. And like I said, if the Giants really improved their line, it would definitely help him as well. You know what I mean? So he's not taking the pounding that he took.
I mean,
So
but
I mean, it's hand in hand, like you said. I mean, but like I said, the Giants went in a different direction. He went in a different direction. It is what it is.
right, of course. So I mean, like I said, can't blame. Like I said, now with us is like we just got to, like I said, we just got to look at this like it's like a rebuild, not a total rebuild, but a rebuild. It's like, hey, we got to get this talent level up, man. We can't. I mean,
Right.
you look at the games we play against our division rivals, the Cowboys, the Eagles. We weren't even there. Look at San Francisco when we played guys. We weren't there. You know what I'm saying? It showed. It was like, oh man, we got some more work to do. We thought we was like, we didn't. We got to get out. We got more work to do. So you got to do it.
Whole
So
lot.
it's like reality set in. Like, hey man, we got to build this thing the right way. You know what I'm saying? And it starts right now. So it's like, hey, let's jump on it. Let's start like this way, and then within another couple of years, then hey, we be right there, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. Like I said, come to the season. Like I said, we just want to take our lumps, see what happens and stuff like that. But you're building the culture, you're building a team like that. You know what I'm saying? You're getting guys in position to for chemistry and things like that, and also to build up team morale, things like that, and continuity. That's the whole thing. You want to build an offensive line that's going to be in continuity, because if you keep getting guys going in and out of the lineup, that ain't gonna happen, man. Or guys getting hurt, they getting injured. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen. So we gotta have this right combination. That's what I'm saying. You have the training camp to see who's gonna beat out who. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we only gonna be set at two positions, like gonna be the left tackle, Andrew Thomas, and the center. You know what I'm saying? So the two guard position and the right tackle with Evan Neal, oh yeah, it's gonna be a battle. You know what I'm saying? And I think like I said, these two guys are gonna get in there and get there. You know what I'm saying? Evan Neal, yeah, if he can beat out the other guys, that's fine. But his thing is, if he gets right tackle, and they're gonna have a short leash with him during the season. If he's like, giving up sacks, they're gonna kick him in the guard and put the other dude, Illuminor. They're gonna put him at right tackle. He's a right tackle, and he can play guard. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's the best thing. You want competition for Evan Neal and for these other guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You don't want to just hand these guys a job. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and do it again. And go out there and flop. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? With Evan Neal, if they put you at right tackle and you lose that thing and they kick you in the guard and you can't do it in guard either, yeah, you out of here. That's, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna give you one more chance to do it inside. And then look, like Mother Boy used to say, they're gonna fly you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be flying out of here, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully for him, like I said, he can come back in this season, man. Let's see what happens, man. With this new offensive line coach, and see what happens, see how these guys gel. And like I said, I'm excited, you know what I'm saying, as far as the draft, you know what I'm saying, see what we do in the draft. Now number 6, I don't know what we're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Number 6, I don't know if we're gonna I want the wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? I know some people still think about a quarterback at number 6 or something like that. And JJ McCarthy, I'm not feeling no JJ McCarthy at number 6, you know what I'm saying? If they move back in the draft or do some other things, but at number 6, I think that's too high for him, you know what I'm saying? If they lose out on them on the top quarterbacks, then you go with the wide receiver. You got to go with the top 6 player in the draft, the impact players, somebody going. If quarterback ain't there, you got to go with the wide receiver. We need that number 1 wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? We need that. We got Jalen Hyatt, we got Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton. These guys are not really one. Jalen Hyatt maybe could be a 1 someday, you know what I'm saying? But right now, we need somebody that's going to be a definite, you know what I'm saying? And when these guys just come,
so you think their first pick is going to be to a wide receiver then?
Yeah, I think number 6 if they stay at number 6. But then again, like I said, who knows? They might move back and stuff. Sometimes if you move back, it depends if them guys are gone. Then you might go with another offensive lineman. But you know what I'm saying? But with these 2 signings right here, I don't think we're gonna go offensive line now with these guys, because now it's we're gonna go in the 3rd, 4th round offensive lineman. But with these 2 guys, I don't think we're gonna get an offensive lineman. So most likely it's gonna be a wide receiver or a quarterback. And now when we had those 2 second-round picks, now if we still had them 2 second-round picks, then I could see us like trying to package those guys up and move back into the 1st round to get like a Michael Penix quarterback or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like a guy at the 1st round, Penix. I don't Bo Nix and stuff like that. Probably McCarthy and something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're hyping him up, but I don't see that really. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's going to be wide receiver one. And like I said, with me, I know Marvin Harrison ain't going to fall because that's who I want. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good with Odunze or Malik Neighbors. I'm good with either one of those guys because they all three of those guys are going to be number one wide receivers anyway. So I'm good with anyone they pick that's left for us. You know what I'm saying? We good. You know, Odunze 6'3", 215. You know, that dude's like he was in like jump balls matchup. He got the speed, he got the route running. You know what I'm saying? Malik Neighbors is probably the best route runner. You know what I'm saying? Between those two. But Marvin Harrison, you know what I'm saying? That dude's a beast. You know, he's generational. So it is what it is, but I don't think he's going to fall. But then again, sometimes you know what I'm saying? The draft shocks you know what I'm saying? Like guys, like somebody come up in the draft, you know what I'm saying? Because now you got to look at the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is gone. They need a quarterback. They just signed Sam Darnold, but he's going to be just a bridge. So, you know, at number 11, they might try to move up to get a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They might try to move up. The Saints, the Denver Broncos at number 12, they need a quarterback. They might try to move up. You know what I'm saying? So now your question is, do you want to really move from 6 to 11 or 12 and miss out on your guy? You know what I'm saying? But if you move from 6 to 11 and 12, you're definitely getting another first-round pick from next year. You see, they have to give you a first-round pick. So the first-round pick you're going to get next year, then you're going to have 2 first-round picks. And then that, in essence, probably most likely can move it. If Shedeur Sanders come out, you could get Shedeur Sanders next year. You know what I'm saying? So you build your team up and get all these other guys together. And then Daniel Jones play this year. And then next year, you get Shedeur Sanders, you know what I'm saying, to be your quarterback next year when Daniel Jones thing come off the books. So, but the thing about it, whoever quarterback you're going to put, you have to build this team up because if you don't, it's going to be the same thing happening over and over again. You're going to wreck that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no talent around him, like you got nothing around him. And that's why I'll be talking about these other guys. Like, look at Justin Herbert. Like, they got a good team around them because they started building these team up before they even got these guys. You know, and that's another thing. People think, like, you get the quarterback first. No, sometimes you got to get the team first. You got to get the talent level first together. And then, you know what I'm saying, then you get that quarterback. And, like, when he comes in, he be like, man, I got a number one wide receiver. I got Malik Neighbors here to throw the ball or Roman Dunze. You know what I'm saying? I got this person. I got that person. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson got all these guys to throw the ball to. You see what I'm saying? So you got to build them up. But the thing about it is that offensive line. The two things is that offensive line and the weapons. You got to build those on the offensive side. The offensive line is the weapons and the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at the Giants right now, Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, they're not scaring nobody right now because, you know, they're receivers, but they're not that number one. And not to say, like, you know, we get Malik Neighbors or they going to command some attention, but they're rookies. But these guys are good, though. They're good. You know, they're better than what, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they are. They are number one wide receiver. So now you get a number one wide receiver. That takes the pressure from the quarterback. You got the running back there, and these other guys. Now the defense got to pay attention to them. They can't just stack the box and be like, yo, we dare you. You dare to beat us. Now if you got like a receiver here and another receiver with speed, they're not gonna you know, like stack the boxes. You know, they have to defend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where your offensive line really comes in, because if your offensive line is good and they can get the quarterback time to throw the ball and give them all day to throw the ball, everybody knows the defense is going to get picked apart. You give them a defense like 4 or 5 seconds, which really don't happen too much. 4 or 5 seconds. I don't care what cornerback out there. I don't care what safeties out there. They're going to get burned. That's the whole thing. That's why you see these quarterbacks only got 2 seconds to throw the ball because it's so fast. But if you got an offensive line that can hold for some seconds and get that quarterback time and get these guys time to get in their routes or really get downfield, it's over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to build this offensive line up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yo, this is what I want to ask you. Do you think Daniel Jones is a bigger talent than Saquon?
No. He's not a bigger talent. You know what I'm saying? Saquon is a bigger talent. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is he plays the most important position, which is the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? It's because the running back.
Yeah, but to me, his fulfillment of his duties has he fulfilled his void?
Who?
Daniel Jones.
Nah. I won't say, because like I said, but either Saquon and Daniel, they haven't fulfilled, because guess what? They've been on bad teams. That's the problem. Had these guys played on good teams their whole career, and you got to look at it. The Giants front office was like the Knicks front office, the most dysfunctional. The Giants front office for the last 10 years have been most dysfunctional. And that's why I say all these other quarterbacks, you look at these other quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Burrows, Tua, they ain't play, the management they've been under, they ain't been like the Giants. They haven't been playing on a dysfunctional organization. So you can't blame the players. When you play functional organization. Because you look at the Knicks. The Knicks before the long time had the most dysfunctional organization compared to these other teams. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame the players. You have to blame the organization for not putting the right front office in front of them and building the team the right way. So yeah, these guys, and that's the other thing. These guys suffered a lot because they had poor coaching. I mean, come on, Joe Judge, Pat Shermer. Are you really going to get something out of those two guys? And who was the other dude? Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator and things. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can't blame these guys. That's what I'm saying. I felt bad for these guys because, like, yo, they had nobody to learn from. You know what I'm saying? They had no good coaching to learn from. Come on, look at Joe Judge. Dude, what is he now? He's he's like the team videographer. I don't know, man. The dude, he's a bum. He's a bum.
He's out there throwing water bottles at the dudes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they failed this team, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, main thing in free agency is like I said, I look at this free agency. I'm like, okay, Jermaine Illuminor, John Runyon, Brian Burns, Devin Singletary. Hey, those are great guys to start with. You know what I'm saying? I don't care too much about the Drew Lock, the backup quarterback. But like I said, you address the offensive line, even though you're going to get more into the draft. The main thing is that the pass rusher. That right there takes the cake for us. You know what I'm saying? The pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like if you got an inexperienced guy, you know what I'm saying? But you got one of the top. Right. And Brian Burns is only I want to say 25. He's only 25 years old. So this dude got some longevity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with that, man. I know. I mean, I watched him when he played against us and stuff like that. You know, of course, he was a pest. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to help even more. And that's what him playing. He wasn't even playing with a Dexter Lawrence. And people don't realize when you play with Dexter Lawrence, that helps even more because Dexter Lawrence that dude is taking on double teams. I mean, he's moving people out the way. You know what I'm saying? It makes it much easier. You know what I'm saying? So and Dexter Lawrence, he's good against the run. He'll stop that run. So if you can put another defensive tackle in the middle, that's going to stop the run even more to give the linebackers time to get there to clean up. And that's the whole thing. When them guys are taking on two people and the running back coming in, now the linebackers can really get in there and clean up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Dexter Lawrence do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, right now, where we at right now, I ain't gonna say you're starting over, but you're trying to build this team up the right way and stuff like that. And that's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you basically say it's in a rebuild because they are rebuilding. They're rebuilding, like you said, from the ground up. I mean, I just think that going into the season it's not like I'm not enthusiastic about the season because you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get, you know what I mean? If we was looking at to be at least a 50-50 ball club last year, they look even worse than we did last year.
Well, I mean,
going into this year.
It all depends on the offensive line because if them guys can block and do some things, open up some running holes and stuff like that. So, I mean, it could be different, like I said, and the scheme they run with the new offensive coach, offensive line.
Oh, yeah, we'll just see what he can pull off to help that, but.
Right, because if you look at, the guys who had that offensive line last year, man, I mean, come on, man. How many times we watched the game and we was just like, man, I could go out there and probably do a little blocking for these guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you'd be like, yo, these guys was like a turnstile. I mean, these guys was all. I mean,
they might as well just roll over. This would be a regular welcome mat because those would just roll it down to the floor, so they could just walk over them.
As an offensive lineman, when you see your guys turning back to the quarterback, that's not a good position. When your offensive lineman is facing the quarterback, that's not a good position. And then how many times did we see Evan Neal last year when you look back at the replay, you said, holy crap, they got around this guy within 1 second, man. It's like, or the effort level. He didn't even put up an effort level, man. It was just terrible.
You know, the only thing I know that dude was saying was Ole. that motherfucker was definitely looking back, and he was already knocking the shit out of Daniel or Saquon coming out of the backfield.
And that was because we had injuries, and then, like I said, and then even without the injuries, like Evan Neal wasn't losing his spot, and that's another thing. See, we didn't have good competition for him. So now, if you get these guys, that's be good competition. Is like, bro, you're gonna shape up, or guess what? They're gonna kick. The first thing they're gonna do is kick you inside, and if that don't work, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be flipping burgers and stuff like that. You telling other people burgers, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, also I forgot like the Knicks playing tonight too. They're playing the Sixers and stuff. I think OG back.
Yeah. OG is back. The Knicks is up 26-12.
So the Knicks up 26-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up, man. So, thanks for coming through, man. Any last words you got to say on this free agency and how the Giants gonna do and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what I could say is, I guess we got to keep hope alive. G-men will rebuild. I guess we will see some good things. Hopefully, see something good come out of the season. But listen, I guess I'm excited to see what they could do to put the pieces together. But nevertheless, it's just, again, like I said, it's just hard to see talent walk away. But hopefully they can get some fresh meat in there to be the new talent that we can cheer for. But
Right.
other than that, people hit that like button.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. You know what I'm
Yo.
saying? Thanks for checking out another podcast of the Man-Cave podcast. I think I'm gonna be back on Friday night because it's gonna be some little more free agency gonna finish up. So I'm gonna finish up on the Giants thing and of course the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, too. So see how OG get back in, you know what I'm saying. So probably Friday or Saturday, I'll do that and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So everybody check us back out, man. Thanks to me for coming through, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
you know what it is.
Man-Cave podcast, hit that like and subscribe button. Also comment and leave a comment in the section below, man, and see how you feel about the Giants free agency, what you think the Giants going to do in the draft and stuff like that, how you see the Giants season, you know what I'm saying, or do you agree with the Giants, what they did in free agency, if you like it, or if you didn't like it, let me know, or what free agent that you wanted that you think the Giants should have got or can still get, because there's still some guys that the Giants could sign in free agency too to help with more depth, you know what I'm saying? You got some cornerbacks, some safeties out there, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, because a lot of the safeties are still out there, you know what I'm saying, from other teams that they got released. So that could help us too, you know what I'm saying? So
for sure, we need it.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll see you next time, man. Thanks for checking out the Man-Cave podcast.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That Turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.